Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Well, I had a tragedy happen here recently. I decided I was going to put a video card in my Dell Mini Tower 7010. And I've got one of these. It's also in my workstation T3500. Works fine, no problems. So I decided to put this one in my Mini Tower. And when I did, I had all kind of problems. My system ended up crashing. Come to find out, I believe it has something to do with the power supply is only 250 watts, and this requires a 300 watt minimum. And so I looked at my T3500, and sure enough, it's 350 watts. That's why it works just perfectly. So I had to take it out, and when I did take it back out, when I booted in the Arch, the first thing I noticed was I had no swap. I was getting errors during the boot up. Anyway, make a long story short, I just pulled that card out and reinstalled Arch, and that's what I'm on right now. Reinstalled Arch with an xfce desktop, and that's what I'm on now. And so I just took it out and went back to normal, and I got everything going again. While I was doing this, though, I was thinking, if I was using Windows right now, what would I think when it updates? Because it's been doing all kind of weird stuff. It's been updating and tearing stuff up. You got people warning you not to let it update. If you didn't know, it spies on you. You can't turn it off during a Windows install. I took a picture here. It's concerning the diagnostic data. When you turn that, you can't turn that, it says full, but when you turn it off when you toggle that switch, it now says basic. So it's going to be sending some information whether you want it to or not, which is crazy. Then you're going to get a Windows update eventually, no matter what you do. You can't turn it off. It will update eventually. And, there's been reports of machines just turning off. In my case, it lost my CD, DVD optical drive 3 different times. Fourth time I decided that was it. I got that worked out finally. And then I put Linux on it. I don't have to worry about it no more. So there's even one of the YouTubers that I follow, especially when he's talking about Windows, is Brytech, and he's got a video out right now. It says, don't update Windows 10 to version 2004. Don't do it. And the reason is because it's going to break your system. And the problem is they know that kind of stuff. Here, I found this article by Forbes here. I can stay out where I want to be. That was just recently written on May 3rd this year. And it's telling you that Microsoft has hinted that big changes are coming, but there's going to be problems in it, and they know that. They know that. Several issues right here are going to be shipped with several known issues, especially for gamers. And operating system on a computer today, it has to be geared toward gamer because that's our biggest crowd right there, gamers. So, let's just say something happened and it borked your Windows installation. And you take it to a shop and they charge you for fixing it. Not the average guy can find out how to go into his registry editor and change settings in there, edit them, and find in order to get your optical drive back. Just not a lot of people are going to even want to do that. So then what if it borks your system and you thought, well, I'm going to have to buy a new system. So you just go to Google and you type in Microsoft Windows, and then you get people wanting to sell it to you. Here's one Windows 10 download recycled Microsoft license for $37.99. I have no idea what a recycled license is. I don't want to know. Here's one $124. Here's one for $59. And I've seen them slow down as like $12 with certain places or what have you. But if you go to Microsoft and you look at there, if you buy the official version from them, They get $199.99. I don't know why it's not just $200. Another marketing ploy. So you got Microsoft Windows. You could buy it, shady circumstances, perhaps. Maybe some of these are legitimate. Doesn't matter to me. Or you could buy straight from the big dog. If you take it to a shop and they work on it, they're going to charge you $200 probably. Especially if you have to take it to them twice because the update broke your system twice. And then you know that they're going to ship with several known issues. Well, I'm here to tell you about Linux. And why would you even consider moving from an operating system as well known and renowned as Windows for Linux? You know, my answer to that is all the above. All these things that I just mentioned about the spyware, how much it costs to get, there's I'm going to say, I don't know what the right word is, shady ways that you can actually get it, legal, shady ways, I think. Or you could sacrifice the $200 or then take your chances that it's going to bork your system again. Well, in my case, I decided to try Linux. And I wanted to know what would bring me from Linux. I mean, it would take me from Windows. What do I do in Windows? What did I do in Windows that a average Linux user is going to want to do? And, well, the first thing he's going to do, the first thing that used to come to my mind is what kind of web browser it's got. You know, back when they had Windows Explorer. And, you know, so right now, for internet browsing, Firefox has got the edge over probably all of them. I hadn't done any real research to find out, you know, what percentage uses this new one, Microsoft Edge versus Firefox. I just don't know. But I can bet you that Firefox will satisfy most people's needs as far as the average user goes. All right, so then let's see, what else did I do in Windows? Well, occasionally I used the notepad. So on Arch or xfce installed on an Arch Linux base, instead of notepad, they use mousepad. There's also another one that they call leafpad, and they both work the same way. You can see that this is just a regular notepad or a note taker called mousepad that looks just like a whole lot like Notepad. Would work the same way as that, or Word document, or whatever it was called. Not Word document. Okay, but say I had a business or just say I had a need where I used Microsoft Word for writing letters, or for whatever reason people would need that kind of program for. Well, just so happens I've installed it, and there's several that would qualify as free and open source software. Libre Office is one of them, which is an alternative to to Microsoft Word. And as you can see, you're going to have to change some stuff to make it compatible with the Windows machine. And one of those is going into options, I believe. Load and save under the general here. You would want to change that to a doc file, Windows 97 doc. You'll have to experiment and see which one is more up to date. This one worked for me the last time I tried to use it. So anyway, there's an alternative. So we're not going to save anything. Thank you. So what else would a Windows user be used to? Well, he'd be used to right-clicking his mouse and changing his wallpaper. When Windows 10, they call it personalized. So, this is just a small amount. Let me open that. You can see all of these are my pictures right here that I could import into my bookmarks and change my wallpaper just that quick. Let's see. I don't want to. Pretty sure this is a folder where the one I happen to be using now. There it is. So just that quick. You just change whatever you want to do. That's probably a little bright. I like this one for now. And also you can change your menus a little bit. Right click menu, you can change your icons. You make them smaller or larger. I make mine pretty small and I leave the trash on the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this. Now, also a Windows user would be used to having a start button right there, right where this one is. It'd also be used to having a taskbar right here, where this one happens to be. And it would also have a systems tray, and it'd be a custom. When he opened up, say, Word, it would show up over here in the systems tray if he just minimized it, or if he had an antivirus running, or any kind of spyware, malware program. Anything would be running would show up in his system tray. Very much like what you're seeing right now. And not to say I'm making this look like Windows. By no means am I not. This is mine. I have personalized this all the way from the menu to the desktop to everything. It's all mine. I'm proud of it. I built it myself. So if a person was interested, what else could there be? You got the browsing the web. You got documents that you can make. You got a text editor that you can just, like Notepad, where you can quickly make a note to yourself for whatever reason. I use it all the time. Mousepad, I use it constantly. So you got the right-click menus. You got, I made myself a note. See here, make sure I cover everything. And well, let's just talk about, let me bring up my web browser. In Windows, let me open up a new one here. Let's see, what would be burning? No, I'm going to say disk burning, DISC burning. And what I'm looking for is just a typical user in Windows. When he needs some software, he could be as vague as disk burning. And this would give him what disk burning is, but how do you get videos and explanations of how to burn a disk or what have you. But what I'm getting at here is, now look, I'll click right here, and I could download this. And I've actually done this. I've downloaded this, and I'm using this on, or I did use this on another hard drive that I have. But my point is, when I did download this, and I went to install it, I pay attention, because I got burned by this many times in the early days. During the installation here, there's a couple pop-ups that come in or incorporate themselves into the installer, so you don't just looking, it all looks the same. But you'll find little tick boxes where if you don't untick them, it'll install some other program. That's what a Windows user has to look forward to. But if I'm in Linux, go back to the Linux here, the Linux Wikipedia. Here, I'm going to go to Arch Linux. Since this is the system I'm using, let's say CD burning. Let's see if anything comes up with just a very vague description. CD burning. Well, right here, you got 5 of them, and they're not infested with viruses or malware, and best of all, they're free. They're not like Microsoft Windows, who's in love with their programs that spy on you and then charge you more to install their other programs on their system. They're free. Free. Can you beat free? I mean, it's kind of hard to beat free. And this is what you get here. You get free opportunity to get free and open source software, which means a person can download it if they're savvy or tech savvy enough. They can actually look at the source code, see how this thing was built, how it operates, and they can actually edit that to work better for them. So it's free. You have open source where people look at it all the time. I mean, there's millions and millions of computer, I guess you call them geeks. I'm not sure what you call them, just really smart folks, I think. that can look at the source code, and if there's something wrong, they'll point it out. Here I just saw Nero. Where did I see Nero? One of these was carried. Right here. They're talking about NRG2, utility for converting CD or DVD image generated by Nero burning. So Nero's a big popular one in the Windows. So why would a person want to go from Windows? Why would he even think about Linux? Well, I've covered a lot of stuff here, a lot of reasons why. And, there's actually hundreds more. I'm very proud to say now that I'm down to Windows really on one machine. And I'm thinking seriously about just going all Linux. And I may still do that. I want to keep the Windows going now, not so much for a use case, but if something goes wrong with somebody else's computer and they're running Windows 10, maybe I can help them. I mean, who knows? You do have to be aware, and I want to know if it breaks again. So if you do decide to go to Linux, you might decide to go here, distrowatch.com. And the only reason I say go here is to start here this is a place where you can see most, if not all, most of what Linux calls distributions. Unix-like operating systems, and they're all based on, there's 3 or 4 different main, I think 7, main builders of GNU Linux. If you come to Distro Watch right here, you'll see that this is a place where they collect Linux distributions and information about each one and how to get each one and a link to each one's web page. And I would start here because it does consolidate them all. If I just did a Google search on Linux systems, you'd get a wide variety and it'd be all jumbled. Here, at least, I guess you could say they're a verbose package list. And you could just start, if you wanted to, start one and go right on down. I sort of did. I bought me a bunch of flash drives and I went crazy. I had no idea about VirtualBox being so much easier. So you could start there, and there's another one here. Let me see. I don't have it marked. I'll have to get it. Yep, .net. You can also come to distrotester.net. And if you have any idea, if you go back to Distro Watch and you see one, oh, I like that name. Well, you come to here and you look it up. Now here I'm running Arch Linux, and it's listed. I may not list just plain Arch because it needs a desktop, which I'm surprised that they don't. But here's some Arch-based ones: Archman, Arco Linux. There's Arch Linux. So you could just click on that, and when you decide which one you want to try, click on Start. Take a few seconds to load it up, but then it'll show you. Like there, Ubuntu. I'm going to close out of that before that does anything. Well, I decided on Arch Linux. I'm going to go back to Arch Linux, point this out. This is Arch Linux's Arch Linux web page. And as you can see, it's just not filled up with a bunch of bling, bunch of flash. Arch Linux is a very basic installation, and its concern is one thing: keeping the base up and going. And it's up to the individual what they want to do with it. And here you can see I can do a package search. If we have a problem, it's going to be listed right here. But let me give you a for instance. Close out of that. I don't need that anymore. So if you typed in Ubuntu in Google, or if you saw it on Distro Watch, you come to their web page, and I'm not downing on Ubuntu. Apparently Ubuntu is a good system. I actually got it's called Ubuntu Studio installed on a laptop that I'm fixing to give away to a friend of mine that's into that kind of stuff. Point being, you come to Ubuntu or any other of the major ones, Ubuntu or Debian or what have you, most of the time you're going to find a well-polished web page with all sorts of information, and you can tell they care a lot about the way it looks. And that's actually a good thing. But if you compare that to Arch Linux, you don't really get much, and that's kind of what that is what I like about it. When I install Arch Linux, I don't have to worry about, am I going to get all of this stuff that I don't need, I don't want, never will use? Am I going to have to find it and then uninstall it? And if I uninstall something that's part of their system, is it going to break it? I don't have to worry about those things. Right here, Arch Linux, it gives me the opportunity to put my base there and install my favorite desktops on it. And this is my desktop. So Windows user, the average things that I used to do, I do it right here, just like I did on Windows. There's nothing here that I can't do. I'm recording this right here, which I could do on Windows. They got Audacity, which is free and open source software also. It's like the old Cool-Edit or Adobe Audition. Krita, that's like Paint. Kdenlive, that's a video editor. It's cross-platform. That works in Windows as well. Same with OBS. I got a webcam. It's free. Simple screen recorder. I mean, it's got all these stuff that, I can't think of anything that I used to do that I can't do now. Now, if I was a gamer, that story would more than likely change. I can say that the older, simple games that I used to play, I have no problems playing them on Linux. Now, the big-time gamers, where just the game itself is 150 gigs, they might have something different to say about it. And might have a struggle to get whatever it is they want. But for the average guy, I consider myself the average user of an operating system. I browse the internet, look for deals. I do have the YouTube channel now. So, and I take notes occasionally. So there's not much that I can't do. In fact, there's not anything I can't do. So, if you decide to go to give Linux a try, you can try it without even installing a VirtualBox. Here I have a VirtualBox installed. I didn't even know what a VirtualBox was until I got into the Linux world, and I've seen it on demonstrations and everything. Here you can see I've got Arch Linux set up, but I'm going to use the Easy Archer, the Esnix Arch Linux installer. He's got his own. He's also got a sorry, I should have had this already tabbed. There he is right there. I would suggest if you decide to go to Linux and you have any desire to know things, please come to Mr. Esnick's channel here on YouTube. Man, this dude has got the videos out there. He's been around a while. He's been in since the bottom, since Linux really started, I guess. You can see he goes from old low-tech to very nice systems. He even builds his own system. He's built now the Arch Easy Archer installer with a Calamaris installer right here. So, okay. So that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to let everybody know what I've been doing. The reason why I hadn't done another video any sooner than this is because of the Nvidia video card. I just took it out. It was easier. Eventually, I will upgrade the power supply. And when I do, then I can go back with the Nvidia card and not worry about it. In fact, if I do that, I'll probably go back with even a better one. So once again, I thank you very much for watching. And if you're a Windows user, good luck. But please, try Linux. It's free. What do you have to lose? Bye.